Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome to Sew with Mediva. And if you're a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you for sticking to my channel. So in today's video, we'll be learning how to make the simple bustier top with a queen and neckline. So in our previous video, we learned how to draft out the pattern for this top, and I'm going to leave the link in the description box. And I'll also pin the link in the comment section. So this video is very detailed and very beginners friendly. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. So in our previous video, we learned how to draft out the pattern to make this beautiful top. So I'll leave the link in the description box and I'll also pin it on the comment section. So let's remove the pattern now so we can join the fabrics together. So guys, after opening up the front panels, this is what it looks like. So we have three pieces, and if you want yours to be very stable, you can iron stay to the fabric before you join it. But for mine, I'm going to use it this way. If you're working for a client, I advise that you iron your stay to it before you join it. So I've gone ahead to cut out this breast pad I'll be using to pad the bust area, as you can see, and I'm going to just place it this way and leave half an inch at the upper part for turning over with my lining. So I'm going to use that half an inch to turn over with my lining. And for the sides, I've also gone ahead to cut out the breast pad for the side. So the wideness of the breast pad on this side is 4 inches, which is my nipple to nipple measurements divided by 2, and I went ahead to just curve it out that way, and I did the same thing with the other side. And the breast pad is stopping exactly at my under bust line. So I'll go ahead now to iron it to the fabric, and then when I'm done doing that, I'll show you guys how to join the pieces together. So after I ironed out the breast part to the fabric, this is what it looks like. So the next thing we want to do is to join the pieces of fabrics together. So I'm going to place them this way, right sides facing each other, and I'm going to stitch it together using half an inch all the way down. So remember, we already added this half an inch to the pattern while we were drafting out. So I'm going to place the other one this way when I'm done, and also stitch it together using half an inch all the way down. So after doing that, I'm also going to join the lining pieces together. So I've gone ahead to cut that out. I'll join them exactly the way I'm joining the fabric. And after that, the yoke part of this top, remember I'm using the same fabric as the lining. So I'm going to place them right sides facing each other, and then I'll close up only this neckline area. I'll leave the upper part opened and the side opened. When I'm done, I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. I'll close up the neckline area and leave the other sides opened. So after joining the fabrics together, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to, before I turn it over to the right side, I'm going to go ahead to notch this seam area. So just go ahead to make small cuts on this bustier area. So make sure you don't get to the seam. So this is going to help your bustier appear really neat on the right side. So I'll do the same thing for the other side. I'll make small notches all the way down, and then I'll turn it to the right side for you guys to see. So after turning over, this is what it looks like even before ironing. This is what we have. So I have a little bit of excess at this upper part, just a little bit less than half of an inch, and I'll just go ahead to trim it out. So I'll place it on the tailor's arm and iron it out properly. So after I ironed out the bustier area, this is what it looks like. So you can see how it came out really beautiful. So the next thing is to turn over with the lining, and these are the yoke part of this top, and I'm going ahead to close up the part that is on the neckline area. So I'm going to place them this way, right sides facing each other, starting from the point I joined the bustier together. The point I joined that, I'm going to just use my pins to hold down this yoke. So directly from the point where I joined, I'm going to hold it down this way, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. I'll just use my pins to hold it down so that it won't move when I'm stitching down. So I'll get my lining that I've joined. So I've joined it together like I said. So you can iron your edges to the lining if you're working for a client. So I'll place the lining on the fabric this way, right sides facing each other, and then starting from the midpoint, I'm going to use my pin to hold it down there. So when you want to stitch this down, make sure you start from this midpoint to give that sharp sweetheart neckline, and then I'll stitch it all the way down using half an inch. So you can use your pins to hold it down before you stitch it. So I'll do the same thing for the other side. So before you stitch it down, make sure your yoke is sitting very well, then stitch it all the way around it. So after stitching down the lining, this is what it looks like. So the next thing we want to do before we turn over is to notch that neckline area. So just like we did with the bustier, go ahead to make small cuts on this neckline area. So after doing that, I'm going to flip it now to the right side for you guys to see. So I'm still going to iron this out very well. So this is what it looks like on the right side. This is what how the yoke came out at the upper part. So you can see it looking really nice. So remember that on the top there's a bit of curve at the lower part. So I'm going to come over to this side and come up by 3 inches. And then from that 3 inches, I'll form a curve this way down to meet the dart point on the front panel. I hope you guys can see. I'll curve it out this way. And then I'll do the same thing for the other side. This is just to give it that curved effect on the sides. Then I'll connect it down to meet the that point. So this is what we have. So you can decide to leave yours straight depending on what you want for yourself. So I'll go ahead to just cut it out. So after cutting out, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead to flip it again now to the wrong side to close up the sides of the top. So I'll flip it this way and arrange it out very well. So I'll close up the sides using 1/2 inch. I'll do the same thing for the other side, and I'll also close up the base using 1/2 inch. So when I'm done doing that, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So after I closed up the sides and turned over, this is what it looks like. So this is the lower part. I've closed it up already, and this is what the wrong side looks like. So we are done with the front part of this top. So let's move over now to the back part. So for the back panel, the first thing you want to do is to turn over with your lining. So I'm going to place my lining on its right sides facing each other. So I'm only going to show you guys what to do for one side because we're going to repeat it for the other side. I'll stitch the neckline to the lining using 1/2 inch, and I'll close up the sides using another 1/2 inch. I'll leave the lower part open and then I'll show you guys the next thing to do. So after closing up the neckline and the sides, I'm going to come over to this side and come up by 3 inches just like I did with the front panel. So I'll go ahead to just curve it out down to meet the dart point this way. So note that I've already notched out the dart area. So I'll cut it out this way. So what I'm going to do now is to close up this base of my top. I'll do it for the other side. I'll take in the dart and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. So after I closed up the base and took in the dart, I turned it over to the right side and I ironed it out. So this is what it looks like. This is what the right side looks like. And then this is what the wrong side looks like. This is what the wrong side looks like. You can see the dart inside, and I've gone ahead to iron it out very well. So the next thing we want to do is to join the front and the back panels together. So I'm going to place them right sides facing each other this way. And then we're going to start with the shoulder area. We're going to start joining with the shoulders. So I'm going to place it fabric facing fabric, just as you can see me doing in the video, and lining facing lining. So this is going to give you a very neat finishing on the inside. So following the shape you have there, go ahead to join it together using 1/2 inch that we already added while cutting the fabric. So I repeat the same thing for the other side, fabric facing fabric and lining facing lining. Then I'll stitch it all the way down using 1/2 inch, join it together. And then when I'm done doing that, I'll move over to the sides. I'll merge them together this way. So remember we took out 1.5 inches from our seam allowance while drafting the pattern, and we already used 1/2 inch to turn over, so we're left with 1 inch seam allowance. I'm going to join the sides using my 1 inch seam allowance. I'll do the same thing for the other side and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. So after I joined the shoulders together and closed up the sides, this is what it looks like. This is the back of the top, and this is going to be where we'll be attaching our zipper. So the next thing we want to do is to cut out the sleeve. So I'm going to set that bodice apart while I work on the sleeve. So for the sleeve, go ahead to fold your fabric into two this way and then further fold it into four. So as you can see me doing in the video. So the first thing you want to do after folding is to come down by 2 inches. But if you want your puff to be really high, you can make use of 4 inches for this. But I made it of 2 inches for mine. And then from that point, I'll come down by my cap's height, which is 4 inches. And the full length of the sleeve is 8 inches and 2 inches for folding, making 10 inches. So I'll go ahead to just extend the lines for that. So note that this is the open part of my fold and that is the closed angle. So on this line, I'm going to place my round armhole measurement divided by 2, and then I'll add my seam allowance of 1 inch and just mark it there. So I'll connect these points down to meet the edge of my fabric, forming a slant. And after doing that, I'm going to look for the midpoint of this slant, which is about 5.5 inches for me. And then for starting from this upper part, from these 2 inches I took, I'm going to curve it out. So that extra is going to appear at the upper part of the sleeve, and we're going to use it to form the puff effect at the upper part. So I'm going to connect it this way, forming a curve. And then on the lower part, I'm going to just maintain the same measurement I have here, which is about 11 inches, and then I will draw it down. I'll draw it down. So let's go ahead now to cut this out. So I'm going to attach elastic to the lower part of my sleeve for more fitting. So I'm going to go ahead to cut it out now. So after cutting out, go ahead to notch the center point of your sleeve before you open it up. This is going to help you when you're attaching your sleeve to the top. So the next thing to do is to close up the sleeve this way, right sides facing each other, and then I'll stitch it together using my 1 inch seam allowance. I'll close it up on that side. When I'm done, I'll do the same thing for the other side. And when I'm done doing that, I'll show you guys how to attach the sleeve to the top. So I've already gone ahead to insert one side of the sleeve, and this is what it looks like. So you can see the puff effect at the upper part, and I added elastic band to the lower part for more fitting. So you can also use up a bias strip to finish up this lower part. Just go ahead to measure the round bicep and cut out your bias strip. Then gather whatever you have on the lower part into the bias strip, and you're going to get that same effect. So I'm going to show you guys how to insert the other sleeve. So after stitching down, go ahead to flip it over to the right side this way, and then take your top, the parts you notched at the center, go ahead to place your sleeve there, right sides facing each other. Go ahead to measure the point you notched to the shoulder joining this way, and then use your pin to hold it down. Use your pin to hold it down, and then go to the part where you joined the sleeve together and merge it also to the part where you joined the bodies together, and then use your pins to hold it down. So after holding it down using half an inch, I'm going to join the sleeve to the body, starting from that lower part all the way down to the upper part. So when you get to the upper part, you're going to notice that you have some excess fabric on that point. Just leave it here. So go over to the other side, mesh the sleeve and the top together, and go ahead to stitch it all the way down to meet the shoulder area. So when you get there, you're going to have some excess fabric like this. So after stitching other side, just pleat whatever excess you have on this shoulder area and stitch it down. So when you stitch it down, you're going to have that gathered puff effect on the upper part of your sleeve. I hope you guys understand. So after doing that, I'm going to fold in the base twice and insert my elastic band. This elastic band is 12 inches long, so which is my round bicep measurement. So I'm going to insert it into that space, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. So after inserting the sleeve, this is what it looks like. So you can see the gathered puff at the upper part of the sleeve. You can see what it looks like. So the last and final thing we want to do is to insert the zipper at the back of this top. So let's go ahead to do that now. So go ahead to open up your zipper this way. So since this top is going to be completely opened at the back, so for this side of the zipper, go ahead to turn it this way, making sure the part that has the fabric is towards the open angle of your blouse, and then place it at the base of your top this way, and use your pin to start holding it down using the 1 inch zipper allowance that is left. So hold it down this way. When you get to the upper part, fold in the excess at the top and use your pins to hold it down. Then stitch it all the way down, very close to the zipper teeth. And then for the other side, making sure the fabric is towards the open angle as well. I'll start from the base. I'll merge it this way at the base, and then I'll use my pin to just hold it down. This is going to make your zipper come out really nice if you hold it down with your pin before you stitch it. So fix it in this way, and then when you get to the upper part, fold it in. And so after inserting the zipper at the back, this is what it looks like. You can see how neat it came out, and this is what the front looks like. So this is where we end this video for today. So if you find this video useful, make sure you give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.